Baruch Hashem, today is day number 276 of our daily study of Rambam, Sefer HaMitzvos. And in the 3 chapters a day study track of Mishnah Torah, Mazel Tov, we're finishing Hilchos Schio Matana. It's 12 chapters, so today is 10, 11, and 12. And that means we've been doing it for 4 days. Today's the 4th day we've been doing that. And that means we've been learning the same mitzvah for 4 days. And I explained to you why that is. The way we study Sefer HaMitzvos is not in order of the mitzvahs as they appear in Sefer HaMitzvos, but rather the way that the mitzvahs correspond to whatever subject matter is currently being studied in the 3 chapters today of Mishnah Torah. And as we explained, there is no specific mitzvah that has to do with Zechia Umatana. And as I've said, Zechia means taking ownership over something that was ownerless, what's called hefker. And Matana means a gift, taking ownership over something because the previous owner has gifted it. Okay, so let's do our mitzvah today. Positive 245, and that is the Torah's commandment to follow the Torah laws about how to transfer ownership through sale. Okay, specifically the mitzvah is about transferring ownership through sale, buying and selling. Although, as we've mentioned in the previous days, there's a lot of overlap with transferring ownership in other ways as well. Okay, now, just to share something with you, because we've been doing this mitzvah for a few days, I want to share something new with you. At the very end of today's 3 chapters of Rambam, meaning at the end of the last chapter, right before we finish this section of halacha, the Rambam tells us an interesting fact. He tells us that the truly righteous, meaning to say he's not saying that this is a requirement. You don't have to do this, but he's letting us know about what he calls the tzaddikim hagamurim va'anshe ma'aseh, really lofty, righteous people. Okay, that they would not receive gifts. Why? Because King Solomon says in his Proverbs, Seine metones yichye, that somebody who literally hates gifts will live. And I'll tell you an interesting story from the Gemara in Chulin, Mem Daled Beis 44b. It says that Rebbe Lazar, the Tana, the sage of the Mishnah, whenever he would be sent a present or an invitation to attend the house of the Nasi, he would decline. And he would invoke this verse from Proverbs, and he would say that one who hates gifts will live. The Gemara points out that by contrast, when they would send a gift to Reb Zera, also who was a sage of the Mishnah, he would refuse the gift. But if they would send him an invitation, he would accept the invitation and he would attend the house of the Nasi. So the other sages asked, why is he doing that? Why is he not concerned with this idea of refusing gifts? So he explained, because when I attend the functions at the house of the Nasi, that means the leader of the people, it's not an honor for me that I was invited. It's an honor for them that I show up. In other words, and he wasn't saying that out of arrogance at all. He was explaining, if I were going to be a taker, then I wouldn't do it because it's better to go without gifts. But I'm not going to be a taker. I'm going to be a giver. When I show up, my presence is a gift. I'm going there because of what people will gain from me going, not because of what I'm trying to get out of it. And it's just a general good piece of advice in life. Again, it's not a halachic requirement. The Rambam doesn't phrase it that way. He states it as something aspirational, but it's always good to think about, am I taking or am I giving? And wherever we can be givers, it's a good thing. Okay, we'll see you for more tomorrow with a new section of halachas, God willing.